Hello dear World of Warcraft friends, welcome back to a new video on my channel. The release date for patch 12.1 has been set. I'm excited about it and hopefully you are too. And today we're going to talk about the topic of the Great Vault. That's actually one of the questions I get asked with almost every patch. What's going on with the Vault? When will the new item levels be available and so on? Blizzard has posted a clarification about this and we'll take a look at it in this video. And there's a way for you to earn 302 item level items in the first week of the patch. And of course, I want to share that with you as well. And if you don't want to miss any tips, tricks, or news, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. It's free. We are aiming for 38,000. We still have a lot planned. This is the best way to support me. Thank you very much for that. And yes, let's get started. So first, let's look at the calendar. We know the patch will be released on August 12th. That's a Wednesday. On Wednesdays, you can open your vaults. But that also means everything you have to work for it beforehand, right? And those are not contents related to patch 12.1 yet. That means no matter how much you do this week, if you run 12 Mythic plus dungeons and clear all raids on Mythic on the 12th, you will only get a maximum of 200 in the vault. What is it in the raid? 282, I think. That's what you get. So in Mythic plus, it still drops 272. And in the raid, depending on what you clear, the best you can get are Mythic Marsh of Caldena's items. So, in other words, here you still get the so-called old items. The season itself starts on August 19, but we can already start on the 12th. We can play the new dungeon rotation starting August 12. That means the dungeons that weren't included in Midnight so far. Nailarax's Lair, Murder Row, Blinding Valley, and Arena of the Empty Scar are included. Plus, the new 12.1 dungeon plus King's Rest, Ruby Life Pools. So basically, all 8 new dungeons are included in the rotation. And you can play them either on Heroic, that's over here, or you can select them specifically, or on Mythic Zero. And that's ultimately the point. How you can earn the best gear this week, and how you can get your hands on item level 302 items. How useful all of this actually is another question, right? In the end, there will always be people who just blast through it and go all in, so just do whatever you want. And we'll see each other. For the sake of completeness, I'll mention it, but I probably won't go in there during the first week because I just don't think it's worth it at all. But if you run these dungeons on Mythic Zero in the first week, they have a weekly lockout, and from the 19th, so when the season starts, the Mythic Zero dungeons have a daily lockout. That means you can run 8 Mythic Zero dungeons in the first week. That means there will be 3 slots in the vault for the 19th, and it will have the Season 2 item level. However, since Mythic Zero is the maximum you can run, these item levels aren't all that high. You have to mention that at this point as well. That means with a Mythic dungeon, you'll have a 302 item level item in the vault here. So, if you want to know, clear all 8 Mythic Zero dungeons and then on the 19th. You'll have 302 items in here. Delves aren't actually any better. Since everything here scales up to a maximum of 295 at least, without those bountiful delves and so on and so forth. Later on, you can also get heroic items out of there and so on, but at the beginning, that's not the case yet. And yeah, after that, it just continues in the new Mythic Plus season. I'll put it this way. If I were fully skilled, I could reach almost 291. And such a 302 item would give me a maximum jump of 17 item levels on one slot. That's not bad in itself, but now comes the big but. A 302 item might raise my item level by maybe 1 point. So instead of 291, I'd probably have 292. That doesn't really make a big difference on the first day of the new season. And honestly, in the dungeons themselves, 292 drops. Yeah, champion 1 of 6, yeah, you can still upgrade it. But right away, when Mythic Plus opens up, I don't know, you can run +5 keys. They already dropped that 302 item level. That's why I know Mythic Zero dungeons go quickly, and I know you just grab that item real fast. But if you miss it now, it's not that bad. You just go when the new season starts on the 19th of October. Run level 5 dungeons, and you can, for example, get as many 302 items as you want. On top of that, the whole thing keeps scaling. Levels 6 and 7 give 305, and levels 8 and 9 give 308, and Mythic plus 10 gives 311. Anyone who is already fully geared, I would say, is definitely ready to run 10 keys. And then you can just load up on 311 items. And yeah, accordingly, you'll actually get even better items from the vault. 318 Myth 1 of 6 can be upgraded up to 334. Accordingly, in the first week, 302 is the maximum, and after that, from Mythic Plus, it's 318. Theoretically, the vault goes up to 344, but for that, you have to defeat the 2 Mythic end bosses. And I think at least in the first week, no one will be able to do that. Not even Echo or anyone else. Yes, accordingly, if you want, you can give yourself a tiny advantage by grinding Mythic Zeros in the first week. But if you really don't feel like it at all, because you say Mythic Plus doesn't interest me, and nothing drops there that could really improve me, which I can also understand. So I also don't think that I'll really grind that out. You haven't missed anything if you just focus on questing or other stuff in the first week. You definitely won't lose out on anything. And yeah, that's it for now. I hope this helped you at least a little bit. And yeah, hopefully this has cleared up some of the confusion about the vault. If it did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And with that, I'd say we'll see each other in the next video. Have a good time. Until then, take care.